Hey guys, it's Daniel here. Sorry, no reviews, that's been happening, but I'm back with another review, yay! And I couldn't pick a better show to review than Loki, because I think it's time we get back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe reviews. So, with that said, let's have a look at the Disney Plus Marvel Cinematic Universe TV series.
Good day, Daniel.
What the hell? Who are you?
I'm you, from the future.
What are you doing here? What am I doing here? What's going on here?
This isn't the right place to do your Loki review, Daniel. There's one place that you could do where you don't make any references, but if you do in this review, then it could affect the future. So that's why I've come to take you into the future, so that it doesn't affect anything.
What are you talking about? I don't make references.
You will.
No, I won't.
Oh, come on, you were going to make another Walking Dead reference, weren't you?
Maybe?
Well, come on, Daniel. There's no time to lose.
Okay. Come prepared. Wow! So what year is this?
The future.
Okay, but why am I in the Wild West?
Well, it's because, like, in the future, I'm supposed to be turning into a cowboy who appears in the movie.
Oh, right, okay. What?
Yeah, I basically turned into the personality of a cowboy. Probably can tell by my very convincing, definitely not fake Australian accent.
Whew. Jesus. It's hot here, isn't it? I mean, how do you live with these things? I mean, I never thought I'd do this, but I guess I have to take off my beautiful leather jacket to get all the heat off of me. It's so hot out here, isn't it? Go do your cowboy things and, oh! Take this beauty with you. Yeah, I know, it's a bit rusty, but it's best enough.
Oh boy, let's get this to work, shall we? Whee!
Well, I'll just deal with that as it comes. So, let's not waste any time. Let's dive right into Loki. So the premise of Loki is that it takes place after Avengers Endgame, or should I say, in between Avengers Endgame. Sorry about that. And basically the Loki that was in 2012, in the alternate timeline, was released from his chambers after he gathered the Tesseract after the Avengers' failed attempt to get the Infinity Stone. So, he is transported to a desert, but then comes across with a supernatural space agency known simply as the TVA, where basically they collect people who alter the timelines that would end in results of doom and reset the timeline, but then sent those people to be reset. However, a lawyer at the TVA named Morbius sees potential in Loki to help them track down a threat to the TVA. And basically the show follows Loki as he joins the TVA, but also learns whether or not he has the right to be Loki. Now, I'm pretty sure that everybody around the world has been asking for a Loki spin-off. I mean, from the moment he was introduced in Thor, to his development in the rest of the Thor movies and the Avengers, we've been waiting for a Loki spin-off. But unfortunately, after his death in Avengers Infinity War, they were like, how can they make a Loki spin-off? Well, it seems that the Loki spin-off is in the hands of the time mission failure in Avengers Endgame, where that Loki escaped, so it seems like this Loki spin-off is going to be focusing on that guy. And when I saw the trailers, it definitely got me interested to see what the positive outcomes would be if this Loki escaped from the Avengers. And the TVA looked very interesting. They got Owen Wilson from Cars to be in the show, which I honestly didn't recognize him in the trailers. I didn't know that was Owen Wilson in the trailers. But I knew Owen Wilson was going to be it. Tom Hiddleston was coming back as Loki. It's always a delight to see him. So, I was very interested to see what the adventures Loki was going to take next. And after watching the show multiple times, I have to say, I love Loki. It's a fantastic spin-off. What a great way to continue the story of the infamous God of Mischief himself. And speaking of the God of Mischief himself, that brings me to my first and probably biggest praise of the show. Tom Hiddleston as Loki himself. Yes, just like any other Avengers or Marvel thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he killed it and he stole every scene that he was in. Just seeing Loki trying to get adjusted to the TVA is very funny because it's like one of those things that you wouldn't expect a god to do. I mean, you wouldn't expect a god to be handling paperwork or having to buy tickets or using computers. It just rung so untrue to you, and yet it makes for very comical, hilarious situations. But at the same time, since this is Loki's spin-off, it definitely fleshes him out more as a character, because this is the Loki that was after the Avengers, so technically he hasn't really matured into a good guy yet. So it's very interesting to see what routes he takes to become a hero, but also discover what it really means to be Loki, because despite all the damage he's done, deep down he's a very human kind of god. But his need for revenge and his need for attention gets in the way of his potential to grow as a character. And I definitely love seeing his multiple character relationships in the show, with Morbius, with Sylvie, as well as rivaling with them. They have quippy banter with each other as well. I mean, I felt like that Tom Hiddleston really carried the show. I mean, obviously that's going to have to be the case because the show is called Loki, so of course we'll focus on Tom Hiddleston's character of Loki. But it's still very interesting to see him going through this kind of development, and he just was having so much fun playing this character. I felt like this show really meant a lot to Tom Hiddleston, because I bet he loved the Loki character so much and wanted him to have his own spin-off, and the fact that he finally got his own spin-off, he's just going all the way with it, and it's just a ball to see him back as this character, and I cannot wait to see what direction they're going to take this version of Loki in the future of the MCU. And speaking of Tom Hiddleston, the rest of the actors are interesting as well, because besides Tom Hiddleston, it felt like that the other actors and actresses were having a lot of fun with their roles and just enjoying the delightfulness directed with Tom Hiddleston, especially Owen Wilson. I mean, Owen Wilson was just having a lot of fun playing this character of Mobius, because when he talks to Loki, he has a mixed feeling about whether or not he trusts him or distrusts him, but also has an enjoyment of whether or not he finds him amusing or he finds him annoying. So he's just coming up with very quippy words to try to throw back at Loki's face, and it's just a ball to watch. But at the same time, his character does have some depth. Mobius seems to gather some more information of the TVA, and you kind of feel sympathetic towards him. Who is he really? Is he a TVA member, or is he his own person? It's just very interesting to see him do that. And like I said, Loki and Mobius have the most hilarious comedic duo chemistry ever. I mean, it's even more comedic than Thor and Loki, because these two, I could just see them together forever. They honestly came off the best of friends. I mean, at first they're not very fond of each other, but then they start to grow like each other. But then they start to distrust each other again in more comedic situations. But one of the most interesting characters and actresses in the show for me has to be Sophia Di Martino as the character of Sylvie. Now, we barely saw Sylvie in the trailers, so there's going to be a huge surprise as to who Sylvie is in the show, and because of that I'm not going to give away too much about her character, but man, she is definitely one of the most interesting characters, because you either trust her or distrust her, and she either trusts people or distrusts people, but her backstory definitely justifies that, and it makes us both sympathetic but also questionable, because you have no idea what this character could do. And the comedic chemistry between her and Loki is also very interesting, because at first they hate each other, but then they like each other and start to gather more information about each other, as well as trying to decide whether or not these two are meant to be. And that's what I'm going to say about her character. I think it's going without saying, considering how this seems to be a time travel show, but I'm just going to say it anyway. The visuals. if you thought the visuals in WandaVision were mesmerizing, the visuals in Loki are glorious. I mean, just awesome to watch, because it's the kind of visuals that you wish were in other MCU movies. Like, when we come to these different planets and all, I actually wish that these visual effects were in Endgame or Infinity War, because these honestly have to be like some of the coolest shots in an MCU film or series. And going hand in hand with the visuals, of course, is the action. It is very interesting to watch because they have like supernatural magic and hand-to-hand combat, but also a bit of technology as well. Speaking of technology and visuals, I loved the look of the civilization that the TVA has. It looks like something that you would definitely see in, like, say, Star Wars or Ralph Breaks the Internet, or maybe if you were in the internet yourself, this would be something you would see. I wish we could have learned more about the TVA. Especially, well, we do, but I wish we could have seen more about what it's like to live in the TVA on that part, because it definitely seemed mesmerizing. But I feel like we're going to get more of that when we get a second season, which, well, of course we're going to get a second season, especially with that ending. And as well, going with the mesmerizers, I have to say the score is spectacular. I mean, there's like multiple themes. I can't really name a theme, but they're themes that you definitely wouldn't have heard, but they definitely put a lot of time and effort into orchestrating the different moods and sounds for the score, because there's like boingy like textures that just hits you in the ear, like your eardrums, it's like you have ear bells in your ears, and it's just banging, boing, boing, ding dong, hell's bells all over the place. And I know that was very disturbing, but you get the idea. This is something that I was very interested and intrigued by in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and this show definitely shows that as well, because just like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I was very surprised as to how intelligent and intellectual this show is. Yeah, because these characters are actually very smart and come up with very creative theories about what could happen with the TVA, or what the multiple targets of the TVA they are. I mean, Loki, for example, comes up with this very interesting theory, and I like how he just goes ahead with this thing and just makes the theory come to his head that you wouldn't expect from a god, because he just automatically gets it like that. That's what I love about Loki, because he's so clever as a villain, but also as a hero. I mean, the multiple illusions that he comes up with. And do you want to know another character that definitely stole the show for me, besides Loki, Mobius, and Sylvie? Miss Minutes. Wow. She has got to be one of the most interesting characters. I mean, I know she's not technically a character, she's just more of a system that guides the people around, but she just comes off as really endearing, but also very mysterious. And famous American actress Tara Strong, yes, Tara Strong, Timmy Turner, Raven, Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls, and any other Cartoon Network TV show voices Miss Minutes. She is just out there, like, just enjoying voicing a character in a Marvel show. In fact, she got lucky. Well done, Tara. Well done. And honestly, that's what all the fantastic praises I can give about this show. The acting is fantastic, Tom Hiddleston steals the show, the visuals, the music, and the ending definitely leaves a lot of intriguing stuff about the whole multiverse saga of this new phrase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that's definitely going to go in the future. But if I did have one big problem I did have, like I said earlier, I wish we could have learned more about what the TVA is like in its community form, because like I said, that shot, beautiful. But honestly, I wanted to see more of this world. That again, we'll probably go see in season 2. But besides that, Loki, fantastic. It's probably like the best Disney Plus Marvel series of 2021. I mean, yes, I actually think it's better than WandaVision. It just comes off as more entertaining, hilarious. I forgot to mention that, it's hilarious. Just like any other Marvel Cinematic Universe show, it just keeps the quips and goings all the time. Tom Hiddleston, it's so good to have you back, man. I cannot wait to see what your show will go into in the future. And I will give this show 4 3/4 stars out of 5. It's that close to a 5, but it's just a little below. But love the show. definitely go check it out. But anyway, what do you think of Loki? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And what is your favourite Marvel anti-hero? Let me know in the comment section below. And I do hope to get more Marvel reviews done, and...
Daniel, we've got to go!
What? What's going on?
Ah! Dominoes!
Well, I guess after all that time travelling, scientific Western nonsense, I think it's time that I feel good to be back in my old room. Wouldn't you agree?
And all day you've never mentioned a Walking Dead reference.
Yeah, exactly. What were you worrying about me making a Walking Dead reference for?
Well, it seemed to me that you'd want to bring up the fact of younger Sylvie.
Young Sylvie? Oh, yeah, Young Sylvie. I mean, it's really cool that Young Sylvie is played by the same actress who played Judith Grimes in The Walking Dead. Damn it! What? Oh, what? Younger me is so older me is so annoying.
I'm a cowboy.
Okay.
I can laugh. Nice.
Okay then.
Baby. Good day, mate.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Whee!
Also, since you've been in the past, you now have a tail.
I guess that'll take on getting used to. Hope you enjoyed this review, and as always, I'm Daniel, reviewing movies, TV shows, doing videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends and family, hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on a single video. Till then, peace out, man.